Welcome to the Prepped and Polished podcast, the podcast that empowers you to take control of your education, featuring weekly interviews with influencers in the world of education, as well as tutoring tips, lessons, and updates.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Tutoring Tips episode of the Prepped and Polished podcast. It's Terry Carroll of Prepped and Polished. Please be sure to check out our website, www.preppedandpolished.com, for more info. While you're there, sign up for our free tutoring and test prep tips newsletter. It comes out monthly. You can join our Prepped and Polished community on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for Prepped and Polished. You can submit a question during the show or after to radio@preppedandpolished.com. We love hearing from you. Let's get right to episode number 135, ACT English Test, comma usage, the comma splice. A comma splice occurs when two independent clauses, two sentences, are connected with a comma. That is wrong. Here's an example of a comma splice. The palm trees blew softly in the wind, comma, the hot sun beat down from the sky. And there's several ways you can correct or revise a comma splice. Here's correction 1. The palm trees blew softly in the wind, period. The hot sun beat down from the sky. What we've done is break the sentence into two separate sentences using either a period, or you can also use a semicolon. And then the T that begins the second sentence would be a lowercase t. Correction 2, the palm trees blew softly in the wind, comma, and the hot sun beat down from the sky. And here's a rule. Do not use a comma without the conjunctions and, but, or, nor, for, so, and yet to separate independent clauses when forming a compound sentence. Now let me show you an actual ACT question that tests your knowledge on how to revise a comma splice. We may not like snakes, comma. If they were mysteriously wiped out of existence, however, we would be virtually overrun with other vermin that would spread disease and filth. And snakes is underlined, comma, if they. Now you know that a comma cannot connect two independent clauses. We have, we may not like snakes, that's one independent clause. If they were mysteriously wiped out of existence, however, we would be virtually overrun with other vermin that would spread disease and filth. That's another independent clause. It's very long. So we can look at the answer choices and eliminate any choices that involve a comma. So we can get rid of F, no change, and we can get rid of H. G, snakes has an apostrophe. That's incorrect. There's nothing possessive. J is the only one that inserts a semicolon after the word snakes to separate the two complete thoughts or two independent clauses, so the answer is J. Now you know much more about how to recognize and revise the comma splice. This will help you on the ACT English test, as well as with all of your writing, including the ACT essay. This wraps up our show, episode number 135, ACT English test, comma usage, the comma splice. Be on the lookout for our next podcast episode, number 136, our next interview podcast. Remember to access all of our podcast episodes. Go to www.preppedandpolished.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Prepped and Polished podcast. Now go out there and take control of your education.
You've been listening to the Prepped and Polished podcast. For more information, check out preppedandpolished.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Class dismissed.